Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you things that I do every day and specifically in the morning to lose weight. But before I show you my morning routine for weight loss, I'm going to show you how I prepare the night before and some things that I do to be able to lose weight. I'm showing you guys what I ate the night beforehand and going into the next morning. So I basically just chopped up some bell peppers and seasoned my vegetables. Next, I'm just taking some plant-based, aka ground meat, and putting them into the shape of patties. I usually intermittent fast every single day, and I only eat 2 meals a day for the most part. Sometimes I eat only 1 meal a day. So if I were having 2 meals or just a dinner type of meal, this is something that I would have to be able to keep myself full, but also remain in a calorie deficit and just my version of a healthy alternative for dinner. And I'm also slicing an avocado and putting a whole avocado onto the plate. I forgot to film this part, but I also added some cheese onto the patty, and I'm basically just making kind of like a bunless burger or a lettuce burger, but I didn't want to eat that much lettuce. And this is my dinner meal going into the night. And then to go to sleep, sometimes I take melatonin, but I also take this bedtime tea, and it honestly puts me to sleep so fast whenever I drink it. Sometimes I accidentally drink it in the morning and I don't realize that I'm taking bedtime tea, and it makes me super relaxed and super calm, and I don't put anything inside of it because I like to intermittent fast. Before bed, I basically just brush my teeth, put lotion on, and all that good stuff. But to actually fall asleep, I'm going to be using the Shut Eye app to be able to get a good night's rest. Even though this is necessarily a morning routine, you have to practice daily habits to allow yourself to be able to lose weight and just limit stress in general. And that starts with the night before. I'm about to go to bed, and I'm going to show you guys a useful tool that you can use to help you go to sleep faster. One thing that I have been using recently to help me fall asleep, it's called the Shut Eye app. And the Shut Eye app is basically an all-in-one sleep app. They have a different range of sounds, from nature sounds to guided meditations, peaceful noises, and etc. Things that I really like to listen to are like rain sounds or fire sounds when I go to sleep. The app also allows you to set an alarm every single day. So yes, you can do that on your phone, but it's helpful to kind of sync a sound or whatever you're listening to and wake up to the same type of thing. You can also record your talking or your snoring while you're sleeping. So if you're interested in what you actually sound like when you're asleep, you can do that as well. It literally gives you analytics based on your sleeping schedule, and I think this is really cool. It also gives you how long you actually fell asleep for, what time you actually woke up. The Shut Eye app is an all-in-one sleep app that provides a variety of sleep sounds and stories that can help you fall asleep. I love using this app to fall asleep because they have different sounds that range from things like fireplaces to natural sounds. The app also allows you to track your quality of sleep and sleep cycle. And also they have a cool recording function where you can record your snoring at night. I'm going to leave a link down below where you can get it yourself. It is the next morning and I am making my bed, brushing my teeth all over again. Every day I try to drink a bottle of water first thing in the morning, and you guys know that every morning I have to drink some type of caffeinated beverage because I like to work out and I intermittent fast. So this is something that I do to be able to get my caffeine intake up, my liquid intake up, but also taste something that isn't too bland. And this also has 0 calories, which can help me while I'm trying to lose weight. So this is basically just black tea and stevia. but if you guys like milk and tea, you can also put some creamer inside of that as well. And another option that I would usually drink in the morning time that's low calorie and that is tasty is iced coffee with sweetener and creamer. So this is how I do it. I'm taking some regular black iced coffee and then I'm adding this classic caramel sugar-free syrup. On the bottle, it's labeled 0 calories, so this is how I get flavor into my drink without adding calories. And then I'm taking this sugar-free almond milk creamer, and this only has 5 calories per serving. In short, when I'm trying to intermittent fast, then I usually consume my beverages plain or black. But if I want some flavor, I will add these things and make them low calorie. Moving on to breakfast. So these are sandwich thins and they are made with cauliflower, and I believe they have about 7 grams of protein per serving. And you guys know I eat a high protein diet to help with my hunger and muscle growth. So I'm basically just toasting both of the bagel thins onto a pan, and then I am taking some cream cheese and spreading it on the bagel. Now this is not a low calorie breakfast. This breakfast is probably going to be around 500 to 700 calories, and it is because I intermittent fast and I only eat 2 meals a day. So this is how I get my calories in, but also not go away from my calorie deficit, but eat the things that I enjoy. I'm also taking an avocado, I'm seasoning it, and I'm making guacamole out of it. I'm not going to put lemon juice in it just because I'm putting it on top of a bagel, but I'm just basically making like some type of avocado spread. I usually don't eat eggs, but for the purpose of this video, I am making 2 eggs and adding spinach to them for a source of protein and fat. I'm trying to show you guys how to structure a whole food meal that would be filling to you, but also something that you can enjoy. As you can see, we have sources of fat in here, we have sources of moderate amounts of carbs, and we have tons of vegetables as well, and a little bit of fruit because of the tomato. So I basically just cut up some zucchini, added everything but the bagel seasoning, and I think seasoning salt, and as I said, added tomatoes, and this was my breakfast. I consume a high protein diet, but because I don't eat actual meat with sometimes the exception of eggs, I do have protein shakes every single day, at least one. So I'm taking this RSP Nutrition protein powder. It has no sugar, low amounts of carbs, and high fiber. And as you can see, it has amazing ingredients from the bottle. And I'm also adding just low glycemic index fruit and peanut butter to it. And this is how I usually make my shakes on a daily basis. The recipe is always the same, and this is how I balance my meals. So I'm not going to give you guys an exercise routine. I do a lot of cardio, I do a lot of hiking, and just a lot of cardiovascular exercises because it makes me feel good, and this is the way that I get fit. I sit in the sauna and I go for walks and I run on the treadmill at an incline. Sometimes I take my dog. Sometimes I go hiking with my friends. I just wanted to show you guys that exercise doesn't have to be difficult or hard. You just have to be active in some way, and this is how I get active. Since this whole video is about being consistent in things that I do every single morning to be able to lose weight, I thought I could give some tips from my own personal experience about how to remain consistent, motivated, and disciplined. Usually when people open up to me about their own weight loss journeys and what they are struggling with, I find that a common denominator is how to remain motivated and how to stay consistent. I think a reason why we stop being motivated and stop being consistent is because we don't have instant gratification, to simply put it. And on top of that, it's very difficult to lose weight and be disciplined. I do talk about weight loss a lot, and I have lost over 130 pounds, but I would be lying to you if I said that I didn't struggle on a daily basis to be able to motivate myself. It is hard to get up and work out almost every single morning. It is hard to have a disciplinary routine train to abstain away from foods that you usually love but are bad for you, to have to say no to things that you would usually say yes to, and to basically change who you are. It is extremely difficult. If you feel bad about not having motivation or not being consistent, don't, because it is a natural feeling and you're actually right in your feeling. I have honestly felt the same way too at times. So these are some ways that I figure out how to remain consistent. One thing that really can influence someone to get off track of their weight loss journey is the scale. And I've talked about this a lot in my previous videos. Yes, you know, we want to see the number go down. We want to see us actually losing pounds on our body, but there are so many factors that can influence the number on the scale. You could actually be losing weight or body fat and you won't even know it because the number on the scale isn't changing. When you are trying to lose weight, most likely you are going to weigh yourself, but I would say try to get a type of scale where you can actually see your results and you can actually know what is physically changing in your body. So there are smart scales out there. You can get them on Amazon or wherever, and they will actually tell you your body fat percentage. They will tell you your muscle mass and actually analyze everything that's going on in your body for you to be able to more accurately track your results. So even if the scale doesn't move for a day or a week or two, you will know exactly why and you can understand your body better. Another thing that could help you remain consistent is by eating foods that allow you to be consistent. There are different foods that you can eat. You can have a high fat diet, you can have a high protein diet, a whole food diet, and these ways of eating will most likely help you avoid overeating. The more that you stay away from foods that don't necessarily serve a great purpose other than pleasure, they don't have any type of nutritional benefit to them, the easier it gets to stay away from these foods. People express to me that they have a hard time staying away from sugar, and sugar is very addicting and very hard to stop eating so much of it, especially if it's processed sugar. But if you stay away from processed sugar for at least about 2 weeks, your body will stop physically craving it. And in addition to that, you will not want it as much, but you have to try. Another way that I stay consistent and motivated is by giving myself reward. So back in the day when I was losing weight, I was strictly on the ketogenic diet. I didn't eat sugar, I didn't eat carbs, I didn't eat none of that. And now my diet is a little bit different where I allow myself sweets, I allow myself to have sugar, to have fruit sometimes, and I'll treat myself to something like Starbucks, or I'll treat myself to actually having something that tastes good to me. And that is some type of reward system that I have. Usually if I want something sweet, I make sure that I go and work out first and then I reward myself with that. And I'm not saying that you have to work out to be able to give yourself that, but what I am saying is that I did something that benefited me, but then I also felt good about it and didn't restrict myself when I wanted the thing that I wanted to have. The next thing I want to talk about in regards to staying consistent and motivated is expectations. So a lot of us expect to lose weight in a certain time frame or see a certain result on our bodies that are just not realistic. So it is perfectly fine to have a weight goal or even a physical goal, but when I lost weight, initially, when I was at my heaviest and losing weight from that point, I did not know physically what I was going to look like. My body today looks completely different than it did when I first started losing weight. And it also changes throughout time and it changes as you age. When I was younger, I literally didn't have any hips on my body and I did not have a butt or anything. And when I became, I think like 22, my body started changing and I started growing hips and becoming more womanly. I think that's why a lot of people struggle with motivation and discipline, because they have this picture of what they want for themselves, and then when their body starts transforming, or if it doesn't start transforming in the way that you necessarily want it to, you get discouraged. Have a goal, but don't limit yourself to that goal, because you could have a certain physical goal for yourself and then down the line you may not even like to have have that, or you may not even want to be that. Another thing that you have to pay attention to when you are trying to lose weight is your hormonal changes. So whenever you eat and just your system regulating in general is entirely hormonal. Insulin is hormonal, your hunger hormones are hormonal, your emotions and the way that you connect with food, meaning if you overeat or not, is also hormonal. So you just have to keep that in mind when you are trying to lose weight. You can retain water easily, you could lose water easily, you could be bloated very easily, and all of these things contribute to your results as well. So as I mentioned, really get to know your body and don't be discouraged if you don't have exactly what you want in that moment. And I also want to talk about getting realistic in regards to being disciplined, having motivation, and staying consistent. I feel like this is essential when you are trying to lose weight. You have to be honest with yourself and you have to actually understand what you're doing when it comes to weight loss. So this means, are you actually tracking your calories? Do you know how much you're actually eating? I get a lot of messages that say, you know, I've been doing this and I'm not losing weight, and I ask them, well, are you tracking your calories? Or do you know how much you're actually eating? Do you know what's in the nature of what you were eating, and maybe it's causing some type of water retention? And usually the answer is no. Also, be honest with yourself about if you are remaining disciplined or if you are remaining consistent. So are you actually working out every single day, or 5 days, 4 days a week? Or are you just working out here and there and you're not being honest with yourself? That is also very important too. Are you actually eating whole food 5, 6 days a week? Or are you only eating whole food every here and there? How many days are you restricting yourself too much? How many days are you overeating or not eating enough? These are things that you honestly have to be real with yourself about. And lastly, get realistic about your stress levels and how much you are resting. So stress is really important when you are trying to lose weight, because if you over exercise or are emotionally or mentally stressed, it will be much harder for you to lose weight, because as I mentioned, weight loss is entirely hormonal. So stress will most likely affect the rate that you lose weight at. You have to make sure that you get an adequate amount of sleep, but in addition to that, also lower your stress levels, not over exercise. Eat enough so your body isn't stressed out, but also make sure you aren't too emotionally stressed as well. And this is why weight loss is so hard. Even though understanding how to lose weight or things to do to lose weight may be a little bit difficult to understand, it is not impossible, and I make these videos to help you as much as I can. If you guys are interested in exactly what I eat in a day to be able to lose weight, I do have weight loss recipes down below. And I really hope this video helps you with understanding some things that I do in the morning to lose weight, and also how I remain consistent. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.